Welcome back to RMS, your favourite auto electrical channel. So, we have got 2016 massive Citroen relay van in. It is a monster on the back, just about got in the workshop. But they've phoned up just before Christmas, said that their radio is buzzing away. So the mileage is flashing as well. But also, now they've brought it in, they've got an airbag light on. So, let's get a scan going. Let's see what's going on with it. And then we'll make a decision where we're going to go. All right, so let's see if we can show you what's going on. We've definitely got an airbag light on. When we turn the radio on, I've had it a couple of times now. So it's just made a little buzz. Now it's actually locked, can't move it. But quite often, it buzzes. It's not turning off with ignition now. It's not responding to any buttons. And when it does shut off, when it comes back on, it either buzzes a little bit and then goes off and locks the radio, or buzzes continuously. So, right, we've got ThinkCar 399 running on it. So radio's just gone off with ignition on. Okay, let's get in there. So now that's turned on, the buttons are working. We can run through different channels. There we go. So that's buzzing away now, which is obviously annoying to people. And now that's buzzing, it's locked up. It cannot change. None of these buttons are working. So, and we can't turn it off. Once it starts, that's it. So we're only actually able to talk to ABS, ESP, power steering, ESP, electronic power steering, your BSI, and your engine control module. No communication with audio. There's a comfort can issue. Driver's window raising control fault. Front left-hand electric window lower control and fault configuration. So the configuration one, if it doesn't see the airbag and the radio, but it's configured for it, it can probably get the ump. Engine, it's just going to be an EGR valve. Temporary fault, could be any time. So these have issues with the airbag module, which I was expecting to see because the airbag light's on, the mileage is flashing. If it wasn't due to the radio, I'd be saying airbag module's corrupt because the data corrupts in it due to having a flat battery. So this is now 8 years old and it's only done 28,000 miles. So it sits around for a long time. We get it with motorhomes. I don't know if anyone else gets it in any other countries, but we get it a lot. So yeah, if they sit around too long, when you go to start it up, the battery voltage drops away and it corrupts the data in the airbag module. But you can always talk to them. Fiat 500s and some little Fords which run the same system, it blows the airbag module. You can't talk to it. This one, this one can't talk to it. But just thinking that through my head. So he did say the fault started with the radio mucking about and making all this noise and the mileage flashing. That makes sense because that's going to knock the proxy out if this is not powering up correctly. But then he said he checked all the fuses. We've been through all the fuses, there's nothing to do with them. Then the airbag lights come on. That's a new thing. So, is the airbag light on since they've checked the fuses? Have they put them back in the wrong place? Have the fuse fairies been in there and had a little shuffle around? So, we're going to check that first and then see what we've got going on. And then we'll go airbag first. Then we'll look at the radio. If the airbag powers and everything were okay, we're going to be looking at communication between airbag and radio and dash for the proxy alignment. But yeah, originally radio, mileage flashing, they've checked the fuses since, they haven't said since they checked the fuses, but they have checked the fuses and now they've got an extra fault. So, like I say, Airbag modules normally corrupt, but you can talk to them. It has B0100, which means it's corrupt and repairable. P0101 means the board's failed and they're not repairable. So let's have a look around this one, check some fuses, and then we'll have a look at the radio. So we've just checked on the diagram. We have got fuse 50, which is an SRS control module. Only shows one fuse, so we're going to double check, make sure that's in the slot, make sure we've got power on it, make sure it's not blown, and then if that's looking okay, I think we're going to start where the fault started at the radio, check power, grounds, etc. See if we can get communication back with the SRS, and yeah, see what we can do. Right, so second one in, pin 50, fuse 50. On both sides, ignition on, power, and power. So there's no fuses that have been removed. So that's looking okay. We've got the power. We've got the power to the fuse. Doesn't look like it's been removed. So we've got two faults come up, but we're going to start at the beginning where the fault started. That was on the radio. So we're going to pull that out, check powers and grounds. That type of radio, it is CAN controlled, switched on and off. So yeah, something down that route could be affecting the CAN. As you can see, it is a converted van. It's got all medical stuff in the back, so it would have had stuff all wired in somewhere. So I'm sure we're going to strip that out, find some stuff behind there, which is aftermarket. But what can we do? Let's get it stripped out, check powers and grounds, check the CAN lines, see what we've got going on. Then if once all that's disconnected and we've still got no comms with the SRS, then we'll have a look down that area. But I'm hoping it's just going to be a bad ground or something like that causing all these issues. So let's have a look. We've got the radio out of it. If the radio had a short inside it, I'd expect to be able to talk to the airbag now, and we still can't. It's on solid, so we may have two faults going on. It's not unheard of. Did happen at two sort of separate times. Obviously we know the fuses are okay, so that's going to have to be another route. Calm down. So we've checked our power, just a little beep, and our earth, that's fine. But what I'm going to show you is, quickly, so this meter will actually do a frequency test. So it's a quick and easy way to see if you've got any CAN signals. So we know these two wires are for the CAN, pin 2 and 12. You can see we're getting a good signal on the lower wire, and it's semi-constant. The top one shows a signal, but then stops. Stopped, 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 and then back on. So, yeah, it's not perfect. Could just be the meter. Could be the test load. Like I say, that just does a quick one. If you've got fully open circuit, it's not giving anything, you know what to look at, but that isn't a good trace. So what we're going to do, we're going to get the scope out. We know we've got two modules mucking about. The powers, I'm sure, are going to be there. So it looks like a communication line. We've either got two faults, two modules, or maybe a communication line, and they do run down the same CAN network. So I'm going to get the scope out, connect it up to there, see what happens, see what the signals actually look like, record it up, and then I'll show you. So we're connected to the CAN. It doesn't quite look right. I'm not sure why, but CAN signal didn't look quite right. We plugged the radio back in, it stayed looking the same, but the radio's working now. The mileage has stopped flashing, which is surprising because we couldn't talk to the airbag module. But now we're connected up, we're backprobed into the two CAN wires, connected the radio back up, so even with it disconnected they didn't change, but now it's all working. We got
words or even thoughts around what had happened, and I felt that if I could write something that would encourage.
This is all working, all the buttons are working, we can change channels, it turns on and off with ignition again, which it wasn't. So yeah, a weird one. All I've done is disconnected the radio, connected it back up, disturbed some wires, obviously we've taken it out, So what I'm going to do is just scan the airbag now. Has the airbag just got a fault on it, just a normal fault, and it's communicating again? The CAN doesn't look right. I mean, they're clean, but it doesn't look like a normal CAN signal. I'm not a big CAN signal bloke type thing. All I see is if it's working or not. So let's check the airbag now, see if we can talk to that, see what happens. So the radio seems to have sorted itself out. Obviously we've got the airbag fault, so we need to get looking at that. So let's get into it. Radio's still working, plugged into it, still can't talk to the airbag module, which is a bit of a funny one because the mileage isn't flashing anymore. If the car can't talk to the airbag module, throws the proxy out and it flashes that up. We literally fitted one the other day. The only good thing is that module, which we fitted the other day on a very similar year, I've still got that here. It had a fault code in it, but it was communicating. So I'm going to quickly pull this airbag module out, double check our lives and earths. Obviously somebody has been tinkering with it. And then if it comes to it, we'll plug the other one in, just make sure we can talk to it. It may have failed in between the time the customer's waited to get his car in for us with a radio fault. But the radio, all we've done is disconnected it, done our basic test, connected it back up to confirm, and it's working again. So let's get it stripped out and see if we can make head nor tail of it. Okay, so we're tucked in here. Airbag module's out. The one what we thought we could try in there was actually a different year, wouldn't allow us to play with it. So just checking lives and earths. The CAN wires, we just connected onto them. They're exactly the same as the CAN signals we've got on the radio, and that's now working, etc. So yeah, that's a bit of a worry. Maybe the CAN signals are wrong. I don't know. Are they wrong? Can't talk to much else. Yeah, don't know. So what we're going to do quickly, we're just going to do a load test on the live and earth. We've got our low pro set up on the meter. Let's just show you that so you can see the meter there, hopefully. Let's put that there. Let's get these down here. So all we've got to do on the meter, go live and earth. We connect this up. This is just like, these are just your multimeter leads, but this has got a load in it. If you press the button down, it will load up the system. So we're going to connect it up to earth. So there's our ground. Just use exactly the same as a multimeter. That's our ground, that's our earth. We've got our 11 volts, put it down, it's dropping down a couple of millivolts, that's about it. But it means the integrity of the live and the ground, power and ground, are actually okay. So there we go, on, off. So that's okay. Now, I would say it's going to be the module, but that CAN worries me. The CAN doesn't look right. But I've had loads of these go down, you know, so what do you think? Let us know in the comments whether you think that CAN signal does look right. It's a square wave type signal, but they call it B-CAN. Yeah, I'm not sure. Going to do a bit of research before we do anything, but we know that the CAN wires down to here are fine. So the actual wiring's okay. Doesn't mean to say the signals are okay. So they're okay. Live and earth's okay. We should be able to talk to it. So I'm going to get that back together because I actually want it back out. But I'm going to do some research before we confirm the module's gone down. But it looks like the radio's come back online. Maybe the wires were touching behind there or just had a bad connection. Even high resistance causing some sort of issues. I don't know. And this, yeah, we've done what we need to do. So let's get this back together. We'll speak to the customer. Right, so we're going to call it a day on this one. We've got the radio working. That's still all okay. Must have just been a bad connection. All we've done was tested the cans, tested the live, plugged it all back in. All seems okay. So they can have that back. It's a massive old unit. We want to get it out of the way anyway. We've checked the airbag. We did change it over for another one, but it was a different part number. So maybe that's the reason why it wasn't working. We changed that one for somebody else. I don't know what codes are in it, whether it's just no comms or whether it's a B0100. So yeah, not really sure. So we're going to order in a new control module for it. It's going to be quicker. Just plug it in, make sure it's okay. We'll keep one in stock anyway because we use them all the time. So if it was an expensive control module, which we wouldn't use in the future, we wouldn't bother. But it's definitely worth doing it that way because we've done all the basics. But yeah, if anyone knows what the difference is on them CAN signals, let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed what you see, if you think we've earned a like, if you can do that down below, it does help the channel very much. And I'll give you an update when the module's in. Let's see you on the next one.